In college, I once bought myself a girlfriend. All she had to do was stay with me, and I would cover her family's medical bills. This brilliant but impoverished student stayed with me in humiliation for years. Then my family went bankrupt. She was still cold when we broke up, without a single word asking me to stay. Later, I worked as a server at a karaoke bar to repay our debts. She became a rising star in tech, and got together with the most handsome guy in our class. She asked me, "Do you regret it?" No, but I did. Years after graduation, I never imagined I would reunite with Shen under circumstances like these. I hunched over, bringing in a fruit platter like a frightened rabbit. I wish I could bury my head in the floor, terrified she would recognize me. And Lan sat pressed close against Shen. They were a perfect match, the handsome man and the beautiful woman. "Waiter," Shen called out without warning. "Cut the oranges." With my back to her, I hurriedly cut the oranges. Every slice was a different size. Once, I loved eating oranges. Back then, Shen always cut them into perfectly even pieces. I naively thought that was love. Only later did I understand that it was merely her habit. When she cut oranges, she thought about everything, except me. After 4 years apart, it felt like a lifetime had passed. For some reason, the guests started talking about their college romances. Someone said, "I heard that Miss Shen had a boyfriend for 4 years in college." My hand jolted as I cut the orange. Shen merely hummed in response. 4 years, the entire span of college. How enviable. Shen remained silent. The person awkwardly tried to keep the conversation going. After 4 years together, it must have been unforgettable, right? The air seemed to freeze. After a long silence, the corner of Shen mouth lifted slightly. "Not really. It's already fortunate that Buyu doesn't hate him." And Lan explained lazily, "Buyu and I went to the same school. She had a really hard time back then. If it weren't for that ex-boyfriend causing trouble, Buyu and I wouldn't have had to wait until now to get together." Exactly. Mr. N is a major celebrity. No matter how good an ex-boyfriend is, how could he compare with a celebrity? The atmosphere grew lively again. I quickly pulled down the brim of my hat, wanting only to escape, but the fruit knife slipped and cut my hand. I hissed to spite myself, instantly drawing everyone's attention. "What are you doing? You can't even cut fruit properly." And Lan complained, "Sorry, I'll bring out a clean platter." I picked up the platter and tried to hurry away. "Wait!" Shen suddenly stopped me. She spoke slowly, word by word. I turned around and instantly froze as if paralyzed. Just then, the supervisor appeared in time. "I'm sorry. This employee just started recently and isn't familiar with the job yet. All fruit platters are free tonight." The supervisor gestured at me. "Hurry up and bring them a new one." Only then was I able to escape. Afterward, the supervisor told me, "Be more careful next time. Everyone starts out as a new hire. If they complain, you'll have worked for nothing tonight." "Thank you. Don't mention it. Be especially careful with that VIP room. Everyone inside is important, especially the youngest and prettiest woman in the middle. She's the owner of Innovation Tech. None of us can afford to offend her. I'm scared. Could you take the oranges over for me?" I let out a long breath of relief. If anyone in this world had completely offended Shen, it was me. I was the loathsome ex she had been talking about. I still remembered my freshman year. Shen wore faded, old clothes, standing among the new students, completely out of place. Her poverty was obvious, yet she stood tall and straight, impossible to miss. I liked the cool, clear tone of her voice, and the way her eyelids lowered when she looked at me. Shen was desperately poor. Even her financial aid spot had been taken by someone with connections to the counselor. So, after a late class one evening, I grabbed her hand like a starving wolf pouncing on prey. "Shen, I like you. Be my girlfriend. I have money. We'll share our living expenses. If that's not enough, I'll even pay you for a kiss." Naturally, she rejected me. Back then, everything came easily to me. I had no idea what failure was. The more she rejected me, the harder I pursued her. That continued until her grandfather became critically ill. Without hesitation, I paid his medical bills. Only then did Shen bow her head to me. I foolishly thought I had done something heroic. It took me a long time to understand that I had won her, but destroyed her too. After we got together, she still worked every day to cover her living expenses. She barely spent any of my money, yet things only grew worse. Rumors spread across campus. Everyone said she had sold herself for money. Our classmates began looking at her differently and gave her cruel nicknames. I was still naively optimistic then. I held her hand and said, "Ignore them. They're just jealous." I had been living in my own ivory tower, completely unaware that Shen was fighting alone. In my senior year, my family suddenly went bankrupt, but I hid it from her and said coldly, "We're breaking up. I'm tired of you." She simply replied, "Okay." I decisively snapped my phone SIM card, deleted my WeChat account, and left town to work and repay the debts. A month ago, I finally returned to this familiar yet strange city. Shen was now at the height of her success. She had been a top student in college and became a rising force in tech for years after graduation. She had even appeared in financial magazines. And Lan, once the most handsome guy in our class, had debuted in his junior year. I never expected them to end up together. I clutched my chest as bitterness surged through me like a tide. At 4 in the morning, I was the last person to leave the karaoke bar. My co-workers thought everyone had gone, so they turned off the lights and shut down the elevator. I frantically jabbed the elevator button, hoping for some response. Call someone. Shen Bai's voice suddenly rang out behind me. Like a wooden puppet, I called my coworker. The elevator doors opened, and Shen Baiyu and I squeezed into the cramped space. You finish work this late? Her tone was icy. We can't leave until the guests do. Does it pay well? It's decent. I lowered my head, pulling my hat brim far down to hide most of my face. Shen Baiyu didn't seem to recognize me. We exchanged a few half-hearted words. Then she glanced at her watch. This lousy elevator is unbelievably slow. My boyfriend must be worried sick waiting for me. He's clingy and loves acting cute. My heart tightened. I knew she was talking about Lan. What about you? You finished this late, and your girlfriend doesn't pick you up. I live nearby. As soon as the elevator arrived, I bolted out like a runaway horse. Shen Baiyu, who had been silent until then, suddenly exploded in fury. Why are you running? Where do you think you can run? Fang's you. Was it fun to walk away and vanish without a trace? Shen Baiyu pressed me relentlessly. She was no longer the inexperienced girl she had been. She had gained maturity and restraint. You deleted your WeChat account and made your phone number invalid. Even our professors couldn't find you. Fang's you. You really are something. I slowly raised my head and met her gaze. You must have looked into it, right? My family went bankrupt, and my father got tangled up in financial disputes. The debts still haven't been paid off. Why didn't you tell me then? I opened my mouth, but no words came out. Was it too humiliating for you? Young Master Fang. Before she could finish, and Lan drifted over. Well, Fang's you. It really is you. He looked even more refined than he had in college. He was so dazzling. Every strand of hair seemed to glow. Long time no see. Everyone has been looking for you. How come no one heard a word from you these past 4 years? I went down south. No wonder. And Lan looked me over, from head to toe, taking in my down jacket. His face was full of surprise. Fang's you. Isn't this the jacket you bought in your junior year? The stuffing is coming out, and you're still wearing it. The old me would throw clothes away after a year. He was clearly trying to embarrass me, but I had long since gone numb. It's not ruined. I can still wear it. And Lam put on a knowing look. Life must be hard for you now, right? You should have said so. An old classmate can help. As he spoke, he pulled out a card. Take it. You don't have to pay me back. Thanks, but no. I looked at him, then at Shen Baiyu, and gave a faint smile. I'm getting married soon. Don't forget to come. Shen Baiyu looked as though she'd been struck by lightning. She stood frozen in place. The karaoke bar was only my side job. I had a regular job during the day. On Monday, a major client came to our company. My co-workers chattered excitedly with gossip. I heard this client is a genius. She built that system. At first, it was meant to find someone. Find who? Her ex-boyfriend, probably. My heart skipped a beat. A bad feeling rose inside me. Has she found him? Who knows? The system isn't finished yet. A lot of big names have invested. Its prospects are excellent. Our boss wants to work with her too. I organized the documents and walked to the reception room. I heard Shen Baiyu say, as for our partnership, I'll think it over. I pushed open the door and entered. I set the documents on the table. Shen Baiyu's eyes widened. What are you doing here? Working. This is my day job. My boss asked curiously. Fang, you know President Shen? I thought for a moment, then answered, we've met. That's all. Shen Baiyu flared up again. I couldn't understand it. Wasn't she the one who never looked back on the day we broke up? She pointed at me and told my boss, Mr. Lee, I'll sign the contract, but you have to transfer Fang's you to me as my assistant. My boss agreed without hesitation. He didn't give me a chance to object. They negotiated all day. That evening, I picked up my bag, ready to leave on time. Shen Baiyu stopped me. Where are you going? I didn't say you could leave. President Shen, I can't work overtime today. I have plans. What plans? Delivering food. Shen Baiyu stared at me in disbelief. I used to be so proud that I wouldn't even touch takeout. But throughout college, Shen Baiyu would deliver food as soon as class ended. She often ate the free boxed meals from the delivery company for dinner. One time, I went to find her in a tiny, cramped room. She was squeezed in with a group of delivery riders, shoveling down the rice from her meal box. I frowned. Shen Baiyu, can you even eat that? It's so unhygienic. She looked embarrassed. In a low voice, she said, what does it matter whether it's clean or not? Come on, let's go get steak. I dragged her to a newly opened Western restaurant. The average bill there was over 500 yuan per person. She stood blankly at the restaurant entrance for a long while, then silently took off her delivery uniform. Now that my own family had fallen from grace, I finally understood how she must have felt then. Just like today, snow poured from the sky. The ground was as slick as ice. I took a hard fall. The food spilled all over the ground. I called the customer to explain, but got viciously chewed out instead. The customer shouted, Don't make excuses. Late is late. My scraped palms throbbed with piercing pain in the cold wind, but I had no time to care. I just kept apologizing. Shen Buyu suddenly appeared. She immediately lifted my delivery bike. I had no idea when she arrived, or how long she'd been watching. In a panic, I hid my hands behind my back. What are you hiding for? Her voice was hoarse, her eyes red. Go rinse them off now. I have to deliver the food first. Get in. I'll drive you. The customer lived on the first floor. When I brought the food over, the customer muttered, huh? Someone in a Porsche delivering food. I wanted to take another order, but Shen Buyu snapped. No more deliveries. I can't. I haven't made enough tonight. Then I'll buy it. Buy what? With Chime. The app automatically accepted an order she had placed. I'm buying your time tonight. Shen Buyu drove me to her home. I stood stubbornly in the entryway, refusing to take even one step inside. And Lan will be angry. Buyu glared at me. You're in this state, and you're still worrying about someone else. Look at the state you're in. Apart from the scrapes on my palms, I was covered in filthy melted snow. And another thing. Fangs you. Look around my home. Does it look like a man has ever been here? You don't live together. I was never with him in the first place. Shen Buyu threw a contract at me. 6 months ago, he asked to work with me. He didn't want to be sexually exploited, so he asked me to pretend to be his girlfriend, and I helped him deal with difficult clients. She paused, afraid I wouldn't understand, then explained further. Some clients keep trying to send men to my bed, thinking everyone falls for that trick. It's infuriating, and Lan helps me fend off that sort of trouble. The contract clearly states that neither of us interferes with the other's private life. Shen Buyu took my hand and treated my wounds. On the shelf was a row of unopened hand cream boxes. It was a brand I used to love. Shen Buyu had actually bought the entire set and kept it at home. Her voice dropped. I asked your co-workers about you today. You don't have a girlfriend. At last week's team event, you said you were single. Fangs you. You lied to me on purpose, didn't you? I didn't lie to you. Then show me a photo of you and that woman together. We never took one. You love taking pictures so much, but you didn't take one with your new girlfriend. Thanks for reminding me. I'll show you one next time. Shen Buyu was so angry she didn't know whether to laugh or cry. She suddenly braced both hands against the sofa, completely caging me in. The pressure was suffocating. I was so startled that I couldn't move. Even through our sweaters, I could feel her burning body heat. I bought your time. You know what you're supposed to do, right? I'll give you your money back. Shen Buyu, I really am getting married. Her hand slid down from my shoulder and stopped at my wrist. You're getting married, yet you're still wearing a bracelet from your ex-girlfriend. Isn't that inappropriate? There was a bracelet around my wrist. It had long lost its shine. It was the first gift Shen Buyu had ever given me. When I was 19, there was 1 week when I barely saw her outside of class. She rushed frantically from one part-time job to another. On my birthday, my parents threw me a party at an upscale restaurant. I told Shen Buyu about it, but she didn't come. I waited and waited until night fell. Finally, she called. She said she was waiting for me outside the restaurant. Snow filled the sky. The girl stood tall and straight like a white poplar. She looked utterly exhausted, just like me now. Her yellow delivery uniform was caked in mud. Back then, I understood nothing. All I knew was how to complain that she was late. Shen Buyu gently rubbed my head and took out my birthday gift. The bracelet was a basic design. It wasn't expensive, but it was far beyond what she could afford. I loved it. I put it on my wrist immediately and never took it off. Later, my parents called me over and asked who I was talking to. They looked down on Shen Buyu and thought she wasn't good enough for me. When I turned around again, Shen Buyu had vanished into the snowstorm. Even now, when I happen to remember it, I think of when I was 19. Shen Buyu must have had feelings for me then, right? That bracelet was bought with her relentless day and night work. Back then, did she also struggle like I do now, trekking through the snow, even after falling countless times, yet still pressing onward for the sake of that bracelet? And yet now, she was cornering and pressuring me. In her home, she even kept the luxury goods I once loved. Had she never gotten over her feelings for me? Or was she deliberately humiliating me? I was utterly confused. Before I knew it, my eyes had filled with tears. Seeing this, Shen Buyu immediately panicked. She had never known what to do with my tears. That part hadn't changed at all. She hurriedly wiped the corners of my eyes and pleaded, "Don't cry. Don't cry. I'm sorry. I was only trying to scare you. Today is your 26th birthday. I bought you a new bracelet." What? I'd completely forgotten my own birthday. Shen Buyu quickly took out a brand new gift box. Take a look. Do you like it? She was about to replace my bracelet when the doorbell suddenly rang. Ruyan stood at the door, her hands on her hips. She shouted, "Where's Fang's you? I'm here to pick him up." "Who are you?" "I'm his fiancé. Didn't he tell you? Shen Buyu froze. The bracelet slipped from her hand and landed on the carpet with a soft click. I left with Ruyan. She kept the car windows closed and smoked one cigarette after another. The smoke made me cough nonstop. Ruyan and I had known each other for years. Before my family went bankrupt, she had confessed her feelings to me several times. But back then, my heart and eyes held only Shen Buyu. I rejected her every time. Last week, she suddenly came to find me and said that if I married her, she would help me pay off my debts. I asked her why. She said smugly, "I want to prove that you chose the wrong person back then. I'm the only one who can save you. That poor girl will only drag you down." So, she wanted to marry me. Her only motive was indulging her hero complex. She only wanted to force my hand. It was utterly ridiculous. Today, I only wanted to ask her for a small favor. A phone call to give me an excuse to leave. I never expected her to come straight to Shen Buyu's door. I glared at her and said coldly, "Why did you pretend to be my fiancé?" Ruyan said indifferently, "What's the difference? You're going to marry me sooner or later." I never agreed to that. "Then do you have any other options?" "Young Master Fang, wake up. You're drowning in debt. Any woman who marries you will be cursed with bad luck. Who else would want you besides me? That woman from just now." Ruyan looked contemptuous. "She's that poor college girlfriend of yours, right? I'm telling you, she definitely came back to humiliate you. She used to be too intimidated by you to speak up. Now that you've fallen on hard times, she's probably laughing at you behind your back. Even so, it's none of your business." "Why isn't it my business? She stole my man from me before. Now I have to take her down a peg." "Ruyan, I'm not your property. I didn't agree to you before, and I never will." I angrily got out of the car. Ruyan didn't stop me. "Whether you agree isn't up to you. Fangs you. Think carefully about your family." Her frivolous expression somehow reminded me of those people from the past who spread rumors about and mocked Shen Buyu. In Shen Buyu's eyes, was I just like them? Word of my return quickly spread among our classmates. Everyone also learned what had happened to my family. My roommate, Xiao, got back in touch with me. He was getting married. He asked whether I was still willing to be his best man. It was a promise we'd made long ago. Whoever married later would be the first one's best man. On the day of the wedding, many old classmates came. I added everyone back on WeChat one by one. Xiao was dressed in a suit, with tears shimmering in his eyes. "Fangs you, I always thought you'd be the first of the four of us to get married." I shrugged and said, "If I were married, how could I be your best man? You still dare to joke about it. You disappeared for years." I was furious. I quickly apologized. "I'm sorry, I won't leave again. I'll stay and make it up to you." Only then did Xiao smile through his tears. "Why did you vanish without a trace back then? If you were in trouble, you should have told us. We all could have helped you." I lowered my head and stared at my toes, remaining silent. It felt as if fate had slapped me across the face. My entire life collapsed in an instant. That feeling was like walking along the edge of a cliff, then suddenly stepping into thin air and plunging straight down. I curled up in a corner, my head buzzing, with no idea what to do. Other people's gazes, even the slightest hint of pity, pierced me like sharp arrows. On impulse, I decisively deleted every contact. Xiao sighed helplessly. "Shen Buyuan nearly drove herself crazy looking for you." "What?" My eyes widened in shock. "You really didn't know?" "She tried every method she could think of. She asked your teachers and the school. She was just short of calling the police. She was only a poor student with few connections back then. When she couldn't find you, she steeled herself and went to your house." Watching my expression, Xiao continued, "You know she was especially afraid of your parents, but she still summoned the courage to go. Who could have known? Your entire family would vanish without a trace. Even your parents were gone." It was the first time I'd ever seen Shen Buyuan so devastated. She collapsed outside your front door, crying as if she'd lost her soul. Later, she heard you might be in the south and rushed off to look for you, but she still couldn't find you. "Where were you hiding?" I answered in a low voice. "Guangzhou, Guiyang, Kunming, a lot of places. Debt collectors kept pursuing my family, so we changed our names. We had to move about every 2 weeks." Xiao clicked his tongue. "No wonder she couldn't find you." Anyway, she eventually returned to Beijing completely disheartened and started that missing person data system. I was utterly bewildered. I'd always thought Shen Buyuan didn't care whether I stayed or left. Before I graduated in my senior year, I happened to overhear her talking with a female dormmate. Her classmate asked, "What are you planning to do after graduation? Are you going to marry Fangzhu?" Shen Buyuan replied coldly, "No." At that moment, I felt as if lightning struck me. Not long after, my family fell into ruin. I decisively broke up with her, and she didn't even try to stop me. So, Why was she searching everywhere for me now? Did she only learn to cherish me after losing me? My thoughts were a tangled mess. At Xiao Yan's wedding, when the bride tossed the bouquet, I was distracted and failed to catch it. The bouquet landed squarely in Shen Bayu's hands. The wedding host shouted excitedly. This lady caught the bouquet. Congratulations. Wedding bells are in your future. Will you give it to your boyfriend when you get home? No need to go through all that. Shen Bayu walked straight toward me and held out the bouquet. The whole room instantly erupted. The cheers nearly blew the roof off. Xiao Yan shrieked with excitement. I stood there, completely at a loss. I couldn't exactly refuse it. Shen Bayu, you've already met my fiancée, I stubbornly said, even though she was fake. I don't believe your taste has gotten that bad. Shen Bayu's gaze was resolute. Then assume my taste is terrible. I turned my head away. Fine. Even if she really is your fiancée. Shen Bayu leaned down slightly and moved close to my ear. Then leave her and come back to me. Her gentle voice was like a spell, irresistibly seductive. I almost surrendered. I was that close. After all these years, Shen Bayu could still make my heart race wildly. After the wedding, our old classmates came to drink with me. I accidentally drank too much. I only remembered stumbling into the stairwell and sitting down. No matter how lively it was outside, the stairwell was always the quietest place. Shen Bayu found me and asked with a frown, why are you here? I turned to her, pouted, then burst into loud sobs. Shen Bayu, I'm so tired. Shen Bayu took me home. I cried the entire way. I couldn't walk at all. After we got out of the car, without saying a word, she pulled me straight into her arms. I'm so tired. I have to work side jobs every day. When will it ever end? Yesterday, a customer splashed wine all over me. It was awful. It clearly wasn't my fault. Shen Bayu, I want salmon and sweet shrimp. I sobbed. I can barely remember what they taste like anymore. Under the influence of alcohol, I rambled incoherently. Shen Bayu patiently soothed me, but I couldn't take in a word. In the end, I only remembered her putting me on the sofa at her place. She asked me, what is so good about that woman? I hazily answered, she helped me pay off my debts. I can do that too. Thanks you. I'm better than her. I know what you like. I know how to make you happy. Thanks you. I'm begging you, please don't ever disappear again. I remembered nothing after that. The next day, I woke up in Shen Bayu's bed, completely naked. The dining table was covered with all kinds of sashimi, along with a plate of oranges, cut into neat, even slices. Shen Bayu said, I got you the day off. You don't have to work today. I barely sat down before I sprang up again. You requested time off from me. Yes, you spoke to my boss. What's wrong? He'll get the wrong idea. Everything between us is real. What is there to misunderstand? I was left speechless. I heard you left the programming role to work side jobs. My boss's gaze was piercing. Yeah. Programming involves a lot of overtime. I can earn more by juggling several jobs. My tone was flat. Go back to programming next month and quit all your side jobs. Shen Bayu's tone allowed no argument. No. It's been too long since I coded. I've forgotten it all. I refused outright. I'll teach you. She lowered her head, intently peeling a shrimp, dipped it in sauce, and placed it in my bowl. The sight of it felt like stepping back into the past. Back then, someone always peeled shrimp for me so carefully. In college, I was terrible at programming, but thankfully, my genius girlfriend tutored me for free. Thinking of that, I quietly said, I really don't remember any of it. Shen Bayu casually wrote a few lines of code on paper and came to my side. I'll help you remember. This is basic. At that moment, time seemed to reverse. The image of a young girl gently explaining problems returned. After the meal, I went home alone. On the subway, I was lost in thought when a WeChat message from NGÓN suddenly popped up. Thanks you. Stop making Bayu sad. I was completely confused. What do you mean? All these years, she's been trying to repay you. Repay me for what? A debt of gratitude. Then, he sent me a screenshot. Shen Bayu had written in the college dorm group. It's paid off. What a relief. Everyone else congratulated her. You finally shed that huge burden. Your soul is free. Haha. I was instantly stunned. Then a debt payment text appeared. Outstanding debt paid in full. Paid by Shen Bayu. It felt as if all the blood in my body froze. The hand holding my phone wouldn't stop shaking. Thinking back, Shen Bayu had desperately searched for me. After we reunited, she promoted me and raised my pay. Those words, those actions. Even last night, it had all been just to repay a debt. At the karaoke bar, and Lan said Shen Bayu hated me. Maybe that was the truth. Shen Bayu hated owing anyone, yet I had become the huge burden weighing on her heart. Sorrow swept over me like a tide, yet I didn't even know how to blame her. 8 years ago, I was the one who pulled her into an unequal relationship with me. Now, it was hard to set things right. Burning with anger, my trembling fingers sent Shen Bayu a message. Who told you to pay off my debts without asking? Isn't it good that I paid them? You won't have to work multiple jobs anymore. I don't need that. Thanks you. I should have repaid you for Grandpa's medical bills long ago. Her words pierced me again. I'll save up and pay you back. From now on, Don't contact me unless it's about work. Shen Buyu called countless times. I refused every call. I took a day off and shut myself in my room, sleeping until I lost all sense of time, as if I could make up for all the sleep I'd missed over the years. The next day, my mother told me Shen Buyu had stood downstairs all night. I took the subway to work. Shen Buyu left her Porsche behind and rode the subway with me. At night, I went to my part-time job at the karaoke bar. She rented a small private room and sat by the door like a moving statue. Wherever I went, she followed. This went on for several days. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore. Stop following me. If I don't follow you, you'll disappear. You'll vanish into another city. You'll vanish into a stairwell. How could I possibly stop worrying? I was momentarily speechless. I promise I'll pay you back. I won't disappear again. Could you have a little faith in me? Shen Buyu frowned. I told you. You don't need to pay me back. She still followed me like a shadow. That continued until Friday, when she didn't show up, and Lan called. Absolutely furious. Shen Buyu hit someone. Although Ruyan and Shen Buyu weren't sitting at the same table, trouble quietly found them. Ruyan, a spoiled rich heir, was with everyone discussing the vanished Fang family when she began spouting off without restraint. President Fang has a son named Fangzhu, and he's ridiculously handsome. I couldn't win him over before, but now he's easy pickings. His family is drowning in debt, so I offered to pay it off. He obediently came with me. A man like him is worth every penny it takes to bring him home. Before she could finish, Shen Buyu lunged at her like a leopard and slammed a fist into Ruyan. In front of countless industry insiders, she had beaten up the Liu family's spoiled heir. Outside the treatment room, and Lan angrily confronted Fangzhu. Buyu has no powerful connections. Do you know how hard she's worked to make it alone? Now, because of you, she'll surely offend a lot of people. Fangzhu, if you won't help her, fine. But could you stop hurting her? And Lan, what gives you the right to question me? And Lan froze. Don't you to only work together, without interfering in each other's personal lives? And Lan stared in shock. She even told you that. Soon, and Lan's eyes reddened, and he looked utterly wronged. Fangzhu, Buyu and I may only be business partners, but I genuinely love her. You've already been gone this long. Why not stay gone? Leave her to me. What do you say? You love her? Yes. That shocked me. But back then, weren't you the one who started spreading rumors about Shen Buyu at school? And Lan's face instantly went deathly pale. I disappeared. I didn't lose my memory. After Shen Buyu and I got together. Do you remember what you said when you cornered me in the men's room? You said, Fangzhu, how much did you pay to keep Shen Buyu? And Lan panicked. I don't remember. Later, someone called Shen Buyu a whore to her face. Those vile nicknames started with you too, didn't they? And no. Don't make things up. I don't understand the rules of your world. If it came out that a famous star had verbally bullied a classmate, what would your fans think? Fangzhu, you're the one spreading rumors. Oh, then I'll find a few classmates to testify. And Lan instantly deflated like a punctured balloon. Please, Fangzhu, I'll give you however much money you want. Just don't bring this up again. And don't tell Buyu. I was young and foolish then, and I hurt her. But I truly love her now. I can make it up to her. Even now. You think you only hurt her? I shook my head helplessly. And Lan, you hurt me too. Then I apologize. And Lan was frantic. Please, Fangzhu, don't tell Buyu. Don't ruin the way she sees me. Before he could finish, the curtain in the examination room was suddenly yanked open. Shen Buyu stood silently by the window. She must have been standing there for a very long time. When Lan was driven away, he looked as if his soul had left his body. His steps were unsteady, as if someone had ripped the backbone right out of him. Shen Buyu was never the forgiving type. She hated those old rumors with all her heart, and naturally gave Lan no quarter. Shen Buyu rarely swore, but she was a top student and had a razor-sharp tongue. She could terrify people without uttering a single curse, and Lan probably wouldn't dare show his face in front of her again. Are you alright? I looked at Shen Buyu. Her wounds were shallow and had already been treated. Will this affect your company? Shen Buyu lifted her chin slightly. Don't worry. It's a minor problem, but Ruyan needs stitches. That's letting her off easy. Better if it leaves her disfigured. I suddenly laughed. That's more like it. What do you mean? This is the real you. How long has it been since you've let yourself be this willful? Say a few more things like that. I want to hear them. To hell with business. They're all con artists. What else? Pork prices went up again. How is anyone supposed to live like this? Good. Keep going. To hell with working overtime. I just want to stay home, watch television, and sleep. Are you complaining about me? I wouldn't dare. You're the only one who would. Sunlight spilled across the snow. We bickered the whole way. For a moment, it felt as if we'd returned to our student days. I poured out all the emotions I'd bottled up over the years. As I spoke, Tears stubbornly began to spill down my cheeks. Could you wait for me? I promise I'll pay you back in full. Shen Buyu immediately panicked. What are you talking about? And why did you suddenly get angry before? I was wrong to repay your debt without asking. But you can't just shut me out. You see me as a burden. How could I dare approach you? A burden? Shen Buyu furrowed her brows. Who said that? And Lan. Wait. Could he be trying to drive us apart? But the screenshot couldn't be fake. I quickly pulled up the chat history. Shen Buyu took one look and went livid. I wasn't talking about you at all. Shen Buyu pulled up the chat history on her phone. It turned out she told her roommates she'd settled a batch of overdue project payments at her company. The conversation that followed was about that. I had no idea how those messages had ended up in Lan's hands. By cherry-picking them, he had completely changed their meaning. But how did he know you planned to repay my debt? He has experience paying off other people's debts. I just happened to ask him. Shen Buyu drove us to her home. It was my third time there, but my mood was completely different from before. Let's clear everything up today. Shen Buyu poured me a cup of coffee. I have so many questions to ask you. Go ahead. Why did you break up with me? I had become a burden. After thinking it over, I decided breaking up was best. It wasn't because I was tired of you. I froze for a moment before realizing those were the words I'd used when I broke up with her. I was tired of her. The moment I said it, Shen Buyu turned and walked away. She was utterly resolute. Her voice was low. I thought you saw me as a plaything for years, and you were tired of playing with me. Then something happened to your family, and I couldn't help. So, you abandoned me. How could she have thought that? I opened my mouth, but before I could explain, Shen Buyu hurriedly said, even if that's true, it doesn't matter. She seemed terrified of hearing my answer, and quickly revealed her final card. Thanks you. I've made up my mind. Even if I'm only your plaything, I still want to stay by your side forever. Shen Buyu's eyes were dark and bright, just as they had been back then. It took me a while to process her words before I spoke. You've misunderstood. What? I didn't mean it. I said it in anger. I never saw you as a plaything. Shen Buyu, why did you say it in anger? Before the graduation ceremony, you told your roommate you wouldn't marry me. Shen Buyu froze when she heard that. After thinking for a long moment, she didn't know whether to laugh or cry. What I meant was that we'd just graduated and couldn't afford to get married. Actually, I'd started looking at engagement rings long ago. I simply couldn't afford one. We went over every single thing between us and realized we'd both misunderstood everything. How had this happened? The root of it all was the vast gap between our circumstances. Shen Buyu thought I helped her financially just for fun, while I thought Shen Buyu was only with me because she felt indebted. Neither of us believed the other truly loved us. Back then, Shen Buyu asked, Fang's you. Why would you rather accept Liu Ryan's help than accept mine? Because I love you. I didn't want us to become this kind of relationship. I suddenly understood. Shen Buyu nodded. That's right. That was how I felt back then too. When I confessed, did you like me too? Yes, Fang's you. I love you. I fell for you before you fell for me. The first time we met, during freshman registration, you told me your name was Fengzu, and I remembered it. Shen Buyu's story made me see my foolish younger self in a new light. She had fallen for me first. She had simply confessed one step too late. And from the very beginning, I had gone about showing my affection the wrong way. I tried to entice her with the one thing she lacked most. That made it nearly impossible for her to speak her heart. She had actually told me many times that she loved me. No one believed her. Everyone thought she was lying, just saying whatever would please me. Over time, I believed it too. She had almost come to believe it herself. Did she love Fangzu? Or was she only after the money for his grandfather's medical care? After being mocked countless times, and realizing again and again how far apart we were, even Shen Buyu could no longer tell the difference. Torn and tangled up inside, she tormented herself day after day. Anyone could help her, anyone but me, because money would taint love. If only Shen Buyu weren't so fiercely independent, she could have settled into an easy life by my side. But she didn't, and that was precisely why she was the girl I loved. Shen Buyu picked up an orange and began cutting it slowly. I suddenly remembered the day we reunited. What did you mean by those things you said? You were allowed to say things in anger. Why wasn't I? I thought you got tired of playing with me and dumped me, then disappeared for years. It was as if you were deliberately hiding from me. Wasn't I allowed to be angry? I suppose you were. But Lan said you hated me. I'm sorry. That was my fault for not contradicting him in time. Shen Buyu calmly finished cutting the last slice of orange. She let out a soft sigh. After all, I thought you truly didn't want me anymore. Snow drifted outside, making the room feel warm and dry. In that moment, I finally knew that through the river of time, the girl I loved had crossed the distance to reach me. When my alma mater held its anniversary celebration, Shen Buyu and I went back. As an outstanding graduate representative, she was scheduled to speak on stage. The school was still the same, but its youthful faces had been replaced time and again. There would always be young people, in the prime of their lives, chasing their dreams. My graduate name badge fell from my pocket. A senior picked it up for me and said in surprise, "Senior, Are you Fang's you? You know me. I'm interning at Senior Shen's company. You're famous there. Really? I had visited Shen Buyu's company once and waited for her at the reception desk. When the receptionist registered my name, she had the same reaction. You're Fang's you? But until today, I had never known why. The younger student explained. That company project once had a core algorithm at its foundation. Apparently, Senior Shen wrote it when she first created the system. She left a note. If you ever meet Fengxiu, please tell him for me that I love him. Everyone who worked with that algorithm could see those words. I stood there, stunned for a long time. Then I heard the younger student say happily, "That's wonderful." Senior Shen finally found the person she'd been looking for. After the speech, Shen Buyu and I retraced the paths we'd once walked together. On a leisurely walk, we reached the library entrance. Shen Buyu looked at the large tree beside the path. "This was where you confessed your feelings to me. I remember. I was incredibly brave back then." She gazed blankly into the distance, as if her memories had drifted far, far away. "Shen Buyu, were you happy in college?" She had struggled and been slandered. She had known loneliness too. I thought she must have been unhappy. But Shen Buyu said, "I was very happy. Because you were there. All my pain became happiness." She turned and lowered her eyes to me, just as she had back then. "Fengxiu, now it's my turn to say it. My 9th year of loving you is about to begin. Will you give me a chance?" It began to snow again, and flakes settled on her hair. My lips curved into a smile. "In the new year, I hope we'll keep looking after each other. Happy New Year, my boy. Even with our regrets, we will always